Hello and good afternoon, Miss Stewart's class. Today we will be learning about copyright laws. The standards that will be covered are that learners identify possible sources of information and learners make critical choices about information sources to use. The objective is that Ms. Stewart's 7th grade class will identify and demonstrate knowledge of copyright laws by receiving an overall rating of proficient on 2 out of 3 categories corresponding to the following categories. Students define copyright vocabulary in their own words. Students successfully applies copyright laws when researching, and students participate fully in the class activities. What is copyright? Copyright is the protection of an author's original work. It gives the author the rights for copying, distribution, performance, and selling of the work. Why are copyright laws important? Imagine that you just finished writing your first book. It took you a year to write the book, and you're finally ready to send it to the publisher for review. The publisher was so impressed with the book that he decided to take credit for it and say that he wrote the book. You would not be able to receive credit for writing the book. You would also not receive any of the money that is earned from selling your book. Copyright laws are important because without them, creators would not receive credit for their creation. They also would not receive the compensation or money that they deserve for their hard work put into making their creation. Copyright laws also protect their work from being stolen by other people who want to use it for their own gain. What is protected by copyright laws? Expressive creations including music, lyrics, books, articles, screenplays, software, and artworks are all protected by copyright laws. Copyright infringement. How does that happen? Copyright infringement happens when you use resources that are protected by copyright laws without permission. Punishment for copyright infringement. The Copyright Law of 1976 sets possible fines for copyright infringement, ranging from $750 to $30,000 per infringement. If it is proven that you purposely broke copyright laws, the fine increases up to $250,000 and up to 5 years in jail. Fair use is an important copyright exception for students and teachers, where small portions of copyrighted works may be used in teaching when properly cited. The purpose of fair use is to allow limited works to be made available for the use in education, commentary, parody, and to report the news. The user cannot profit financially from the works or hurt the author's profits. Factors to consider when using fair use policies. Fair use material should only be used in education, commentary, parody, or to report the news. How much of a creator's work used should be taken into careful consideration. If you use too much of a creator's resource, it will no longer be considered fair use. For example, if you only use one quote from a book, it would be considered fair use. However, if you use 2 chapters of a book in your paper it would not be considered fair use. You should take into consideration how using the resource will affect the creator. For example, if you purchase a CD and put all the songs on your computer to use on a PowerPoint video to entertain your friends, it would not be considered fair use because it hurts the profit that the creator would gain from the purchases of the songs, a license for the songs to be used on the video. However, if you make an original parody of a song from the CD for a school project and give credit to the creator, it would be considered fair use. Creative Commons are a set of licenses that give the public permission to share and use resources. Some forms of the Creative Commons licenses give certain rights to the general public, but not to others. There are a few things to take note of when using the Creative Commons. You need to look for symbols on resources which indicate various types of licenses within the Creative Commons. Creative Commons, when you see the symbol with 2 C's on it, that means the resource is within the Creative Commons. By attribution, this symbol looks like a person. If you see this symbol, you must give credit to the original creator. Non-commercial symbol. This symbol has a $sign with a slash through it. This means that people cannot use it for commercial uses. It's non-commercial only. So that means that restaurants and businesses cannot use it. Share alike symbol. This symbol looks like a backward C with an arrow on it. You can alter the resource and build onto it if you give credit to the source. You must also share your work under the Share Alike license. Where can we find the Creative Commons? Archive.org provides free books, movies, software, and music that falls under the Creative Commons license. Pixabay.com is a resource for images and videos that fall under the Creative Commons license. Public domain. Public domain refers to creative resources that are not protected by copyright laws. The public owns the works and anyone can use the resources. These resources do not have a fee required to use them. What is in the public domain? All works published before 1923 and all works published without a copyright between 1923 and 1977, and also works that creators dedicated to the public domain. How do the works enter the public domain? 70 years after the death of an author, a work can enter the public domain. For anonymous works, between 95 and 120 years after the date of creation, works can also be donated to the public domain by the original creator. Where can we find public domains? The Smithsonian Institute provides public domain images. The New York Times has public domain archives, and Project Gutenberg has a collection of public domain electronic books. It's review time. Let's review. We will review copyright laws, resources protected by copyright, fair use, Creative Commons, and public domain. Copyright laws are important and help protect creators' works. Resources that are protected by copyright laws include expressive creations, including music, lyrics, books, articles, screenplays, software, and artworks. Fair use allows schools to use small portions of copyrighted works to enrich student learning. The Creative Commons licenses are licenses that give public permission to share and use resources. The public domain are domains that are not copyrighted. Here is my reference list. I use the Instructional Technology and Media for Learning as part of my resources. Thank you for your time, and I hope that throughout this presentation that you have learned more about copyright and have a better understanding of copyright laws. If you have any questions, please let me know. Goodbye.